Hey everyone, this is Larry, and I'm just going to do a quick review about the AIRE transcription factor and about negative selection. So let's imagine this cell right here. This cell right here is going to be a self-reactive T cell. We want to get rid of this self-reactive T cell while it's still in the thymus. So how do we do that? Well, we have cells in the thymus called thymic epithelial cells. And these thymic epithelial cells presents a bunch of antigens. They actually present just about every single antigen that we have throughout our body. Okay, so let's imagine that this red cell here has a specific antigen that's present in our body, and this particular T cell here, immature T cell, would be self-reactive to that particular antigen. Well, what happens is when that particular T cell finds this particular thymic epithelial cell that has that antigen, it goes through a process known as negative selection, and we get rid of that T cell. Okay, that way we don't have a self-reactive T cell population. Now, what happens if we have an antigen that usually doesn't present throughout our body, but really only presents in a tissue-specific place, such as in the retina or in the ovary? In the retina and in the ovary, there are some antigens that are really specialized and that really don't appear anywhere else. We want the thymus to have those particular antigens presented so that any T cells that would have been self-reactive to those particular antigens, we want to get rid of those too. So we want to make sure that the thymus can present those specialized antigens, those tissue-specific antigens. And the way we do that is through a transcription factor known as AIRE. So those medullary thymic epithelial cells, also called MTECs, those epithelial cells have this special transcription factor called AIRE. And what AIRE does is it opens up the DNA and it allows for the transcription and the translation of these tissue-specific antigen, okay? So those antigens that really only appear in the eye, or those antigens that really only appear in the stomach, we want to make sure that we don't have T cells that react against them. So AIRE allows for the transcription and translation of those specific antigens. Those antigens are broken down, loaded onto MHC, like all the other ones before, and then the thymocytes, the immature thymocytes, can now see that antigen in the MHC, and those particular ones will also go through negative selection. So when we're talking about this, when we're talking about the AIRE transcription factor, what we're really trying to say is we're not just presenting in the thymus all of the antigens that are present, in like 98% of the body, but those antigens that really only are present in really tissue-specific parts of the body, even those antigens are going to be present in the thymus such that our T cells that would have been self-reactive to those antigens, we can get rid of those T cells too, and AIRE allows that to happen. Okay, so I know that's a little bit confusing. If you have any questions about that, just email me or Facebook chat me, and I'll try to answer all of your questions before the exam on Monday. Okay, guys? So just good luck studying for the exam, and feel free to contact me. Bye-bye.